stop dots. Okay, stop dots. Maya looks exhausted and full of dots, but I can't blame her. Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me, did I? It doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end. I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask you for your help. You got it, Maya. Let's do this. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so you can make your dream show. Your dream show? Oh, didn't she want to do a crossover with the Steel Samurai or something? Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right? You bet. You look as if you did not sleep last night, Barbed Head. It is written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. She's using up all her dots before the case gets going. Rafa doesn't seem in the best spirits herself. Go ahead, feign confidence now while you are still able. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day. I was only doing it because I wanted to. Now that you're asking me for it, I don't want to. Makes it too much like a real job. Guess it was just my imagination. Ready, Nick? Okay, Maya, let's head on in. Now then, if everyone is ready. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. Oh, no prayers this time, Prosecutor Sadmati. I already offered my prayers to the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene, being that the accused has already been found guilty of the first murder. Let us hasten this trial, so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery. I could not agree more. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the High Priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Zeh'lot. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmati, your opening statement if you would. Certainly. The accused has now slain two of the most devout clergymen in Khura'ism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, no wait, I know it. Kusuguri no Jigoku would not be punishment enough. Gulp. Then, what terrible fate awaits her? The hell of butterflies! Balgipokon hell. A realm of eternal agony. We're supposed to all be eternal agony. That's what hell means. There, she will suffer the endless punishment of Jagar by the Gulun of Pulmotan. Furthermore, Guljama... Enough! Enough! Second floor basement hell. My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists. I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss. Now then, please continue, minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accused. As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the high priest's disciple, Zeh'lot. He had been training under the high priest while living at the priest's home. I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. How tragic that he met such a terrible end. The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the purification rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful, deep in prayer. The Warbad dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly. Ah, the Warbad dagger. Lady Kira's weapon of choice. We have already established that the accused's prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself. No, I didn't do it. That's also incredibly exonerating evidence. Hold your tongue. Now that being that the accused Maya Fey is a serial killer. The prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence. Would the defense care to respond? I respond by slamming my desk. The innocent is accused. The innocent is accused. The accused is innocent, and nothing can convince me otherwise, not even evidence. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? How could anyone have committed this murder without a single witness? The victim is still alive, QED. The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further. But 10 surprise witnesses. Well, once her benevolence conducts her seance, it will be clear for all to see. Your Majesty, might I have a word? Is something the matter, Prosecutor Sadmati? It is about the divination seance. Oh, is he gonna have her not do it? Because he knows that the last... let's see. Your benevolence. Stop right there, Prosecutor Sadmati. As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds. What was that all about? Barbed Head, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge. The only problem is I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we can glean from the seance vision and Rafa's insights. Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence. Yes. Let us begin. Neh'mu. Let us begin with a dance cutscene.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name.
I should have grabbed all of them. I've got plenty of bag space.
And our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I mentioned it before, but it is kind of weird to me that they play this every time. This is our third case that's had a divination well, it's episode 3, so yes. Oh, no, wait. Was there one chapter? Did chapter 2 not have... I don't remember. I don't remember if this is the third one or the fourth one that we've seen. But that they play out this whole thing. Because it is kind of long. Time to have my final memories. Gosh, I think I'll stab myself in the spine. But first, plant a bunch of fake fingerprints. He died just as he lived, narrating everything that he did. Wait, it's just gonna be him staring at the ground, isn't it? That's gonna be pointless. I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see? Your benevolence! What in the world?
Erg. I was unable to evoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail.
Just as I thought. Wait, what does he know that we don't?
I had sought to confirm the contents of the...
Oh, wait. Okay, so I had already forgotten. She said she was going to do it, like, privately for the prosecution first. So they already knew that this was going to fail, I guess. She didn't call out any names. She was just dancing.
I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecution to verify it beforehand.
Come to think of it, flashback to what I forgot.
I must go perform a divination seance for Pere Zeh'lot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before a trial begins.
Normally I would angrily skip over a flashback to something that happened so recently, except that I did forget about it.
And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice.
It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties.
I am not anything of the sort. I twitch. The victim spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance.
Rafa, what are we to do without a divination seance?
I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused's guilt with or without a divination seance.
You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Sadmati.
This is bad. The divination seance was my one and only hope.
Your Majesty, her benevolence said she isn't tired, so shouldn't we try to find out why the divination seance failed? How curious, Mr. Wright. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance?
Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused's crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into your grave. You should fear it, not plead for it. I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday, somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as just another piece of evidence.
Yeah, he's like, can't we just loop that dance for the next 5 hours? If we were to correctly interpret the visions through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, Maya Fey, is innocent.
The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick?
Maya, please. You're not helping.
How dare you? The voice of a Mitma is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you. Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal princess. It would be best not to burden her any further.
Plus, it's just gonna be footage of a guy silently staring at the ground and then dying instantly.
Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance?
No, of course not. He saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen, or we're toast. Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with the trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Sadmati suggested.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Why, I will not forget this barbed head. This will not be the last you see of me. Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand.
So what do we think? If it failed, it's either he's not actually dead, like it was somebody else, not him, or his name, because they need to know the real name, right? Or his name is not Zeh'lot. It was he was somebody else. This is not the last you'll see of me, and she was never seen again. Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin.
Sorry, Mr. Wright. Detective Sky, I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go and move on.
But
there is only one way to save them now, by giving their souls the chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the infernal flames.
Ooh, I can't do this. Ah, no eating in the sacred hall of justice.
Ms. Sky.
Yes?
Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out eventually. Right. Thanks, Miss Faye. Very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul.
Pulling out weapons is totally fine. Snackoos are forbidden.
Very well, Detective Sky. Please proceed.
Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of the case. The latest victim was Zeh'lot. He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The High Priest's widow, Belib Inmi, has identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond? I didn't spot any inconsistencies in her testimony so far. I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I going to do now? What is it, Maya? I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into Acolyte Zeh'lot. Because it just might prove the key to why the divination seance failed. What are you getting at? Well, it's just a hunch. Wait a second. During my investigation, Rafa told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more information. Alright, so third statement. The widow confirmed that it was really him, except the peach tattoo on his neck is going to give something away.
Hold it!
Was Mrs. Inmi's positive ID the only way you verified the identity of the victim? Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried and the data in his family registry. Alright, a little Japanese there. But what? His personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced. Maybe that's why the divination seance failed. I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright. Here's what I'm thinking. His address was wrong. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess... Wouldn't it be funny if it turned out that every single one of the pun names was a fake name? just we get towards the end of the thing and they're like, wait a second, what kind of a name is Believe in Me? That's stupid. That doesn't sound anything like a real name. And they just go right down the line. Every single one of these, it'd be Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton all over again. With wait a dang second, there ain't no such thing as magic. It's a bunch of hoo-ha. A bunch of flim-flam and balderdash. The royal priestess uses the deceased's face and true name to summon their spirit. Why, yes, that is indeed true. Where did you come from? You left. You gave me the little wave of indignation, and then you faded from view. You don't get to talk. If he was using a forged ID, and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in Khura'in. An illegal immigrant? Come to think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday. But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time. Irk! Well, why don't we just open the dictionary and try doing it with every word in the dictionary? His name has to be an English word. That's the only names the people have around here. I had always thought that Acolyte Zeh'lot was Khura'inese. Oh, how the High Priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this to the test? Of course. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony. It would seem to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you said to your testimony. Yes, Your Majesty. He was an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name. Isn't there some way to track down his real name? No, not if he was an illegal immigrant. Have you actually confirmed that he was in Khura'in illegally? Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence, but there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Khura'in either. Oh boy. Now what do we do? What if there was a clue in the evidence you gathered? Shut up, Maya. That never happens. That's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, a proverbial goose is probably cooked. Or probably goose is proverbially cooked. Oh, there we go. His name is Grub. He's been to the stream before. I think his full name is Grub Muncher. I don't know if I noticed it before. She's wearing a Steel Samurai. She, like, if I haven't said this before, she's totally the real, like, she's the murderer. We've known that for forever. So this never came into play before, but are we supposed to use this? The mark on his face is one borne by all members of the Khura'in clergy somewhere on their bodies. Records of who has what mark and where are kept at the temple. That might not matter until... I'm going to press on this first.
Hold it!
Maya isn't that Lady Kira who's been going around capturing rebels. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
Objection!
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so. But... Ah, well, you said but, so alright. No ifs, ands, and most of all, no buts. The accused was posing as Lady Kira, and she killed Acolyte Zeh'lot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel. That's not true! I'm sorry. The verdict has already been read in that case. I have to assume that it's fact now. Now what do we do? Now I know why the divination seance failed, but nothing's really changed. Yeah, which means we're in big trouble. Didn't rule out the howevers. Let me just break out my thesaurus here. There seems to be all kinds of interjections I can still use. If he really was an illegal immigrant, it's going to be real hard to find out his real name. I guess our only choice is to give up on the whole divination seance thing. If only there was some way to find out the victim's real name. Did he... Hold on. He got something with his name on it, right? I could have sworn there was at some point somebody, he or somebody else got something that was like, oh, you get a thing. It's gonna have something to do with the Plume Punisher show, probably. I'm gonna try this, even though I'm gonna lose a hit point for it, because I feel like this has got to come into play at some point. No, they're not. Maybe. Hold on. Did I press on this yet? 2 years? Are you sure about that? We took statements from his neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborate our initial findings. What about you, Maya? Well, when I first came here, I saw Zeh'lot praying under the High Priest's instruction. I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out.
Hold it!
We already saw this one, right? But the victim was using a fake name, so he may very well have been in Khura'in illegally. Yes, that's very likely the case. Now that I have an opening, what next? It's still not going to help me learn Zeh'lot's true identity. Is he really an illegal alien? Oh, what was it? Was it here?
Objection!
Nope. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Just help me with them dots. Enough ears. All right. If it's not that, then do we have something that just flat out says what his real name is? Was there some, I'm gonna, this would be a super long shot, but did we learn something about this picture that, like, his name is written on the back or something? I'm gonna try it, whatever.
Objection!
No, it's not. Yeah, let's check the, like, but I guess he would have still used the fake name there, but I don't know. It'll become relevant eventually. Just not yet.
Hold it!
We don't know his real name. A clue in the evidence. See, I wish this said something about what, because that was it, right? He did win this more than 2 years ago in, like, some kind of a contest. It's supposed to be, oh, we'll contact the Plumed Punisher show and say, give us the 50 names of the people who won the exclusive Plumed Punisher, and we'll sit here and try summoning them one at a time. I was supposed to just submit this because of the tattoo. Oh. Oh, let's consult. Looks like you can't count on your bluffing skills to save your butt this time. Yeah, this is a tough one. Well, to me, there's something about this one statement that seems off. Yeah, it does sound a little strange, doesn't it? Thanks, Maya. I'll take another look at the evidence. There's just a generic thing. It's like, yes, this is the correct one. I'm just...
Objection!
Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation. What was it, Phoenix? What are you talking about? The victim was undeniably a Khura'in native. And this crime scene photo proves it. It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was... Where? I don't see anything that would prove that.
Take that!
Look at this tattoo right here. Does having a like, that's proof? Because, if it were, I just figured out a great plan for becoming a foolproof illegal immigrant to Khura'in. Just get a tattoo of a peach. I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo. Oh, the victim really liked peaches? Well, peaches are a flavored delicacy here in Khura'in. They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches. After the trial, Maya. Right now we have bigger fish to fry. You don't fry peaches, though. Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach? Are you drunk? Are you drunk on peach schnapps? It is not a peach, you say. Then what is it? Take a closer look. We're already taking a Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely, the tattoo on the High Priest's brow. This mark is only borne by members of the Khura'in clergy. The frig are we doing? Okay. So that is what you believe it to be, but are they not utterly different shapes? You just need to Chasuban the Kurikaishte. Okay. Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Khura'inist clergy bear. Hey, you're right. Until about 20-some-odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one on my right butt. That is entirely too much information, Your Majesty. Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot. I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits. That will not be necessary if you seek information on the clergy. I have it all right here. Oh my! You never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill? There is just one, and his name is extremely stupid. I didn't even look at what it was. We're done. We're done. I'm done for the day. Just please, game. Please. Why do you make me suffer? Freaking kill me. Go ahead and look up what it is in Japanese. I'm gonna use that name instead. Is his name like Honmono no Namae? If it is, that's what I'm gonna say. He became a monk 20 years ago. Then that must be the victim's real name. But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one? Yeah, there must have been some reason. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. You're right. Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, stop saying real name. You're doing it on purpose. The divination seance might finally work. A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented. You are but digging your own grave, defense. Phone Myo? Haha! See? I like that one. No, I don't. that would annoy me if I was playing the name in Japanese. Phone Myo. We won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope. Yeah, has Phoenix Wright just always been absolutely terrible? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just been a terrible game in Japanese, and the first 4 or 5 games, they're like, no, God, come on, guys, let's change it so that it's good in English. And then this was the game where they stopped doing that, and they said, we'll give Hiten the more accurate translation that he always wanted instead of heavily localizing it, and this is my comeuppance. This is what I get. Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more. Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? That's the secret. Everything's always been awful. You are a fool, Barbed Head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on, princess, because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence. They're gonna skip the dance, though, right? There's no reason for us to see it again.
We hold this
even
divination
after
seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
They're doing it again? This is almost farcical at this point. Like, maybe if it was a different dance each, so, although that wouldn't make sense, I guess. If it was just a different dance every time, it was just like, yeah, I just make it up as I go along. It's just whatever. Macarena. Still upset about the name. I'm never getting over the name. It might also be possible for me to click and skip this. Who knows?
Gingil, Plume Punisher theme, heavy pain. Oh my. It is just as Mr. Wright surmised. Poor Zeh'lot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we've seen the victim's final moments. But all we could see was the ground. You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts. I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt. You did? A most surprising surprise attack. So tell us, Prosecutor Sadmari, what is this conclusive evidence you have found? The Plumed Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please, consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plumed Punisher strap. I killed him for that fair and square. When you press the Magatama on the Plumed Punisher's belt. Ah! Scraping. I love the idea. It's like, okay, all right, let me sneak up on this guy. We know full well, like, if it had actually worked out, where yes, it's Maya, and she's like, okay, all I gotta do is kill this guy while leaving no evidence that can be, you know, that would reveal who I am. The divination seance is just gonna show him looking at the ground and dying and nothing else. Oops, I pushed my Plumed Punisher keychain button in the middle of my murders and ruined everything. It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Miss Faye? You'd better not break it. There's only one of those in the whole wide world. Maya, no! It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused. That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now, if there are no further objections... Right on cue. Slow down there, your majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. That's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. Grr, you do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the mitma of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. We don't say that around here. We do not speak that name. You can show the clip. It killed me. I was dead on the ground for a whole 5 minutes. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. The pattern on the plaza's ground was visible in the darkness. Then, someone was there, and the theme to the Plumed Punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back.
The blade struck true, and in that instant he departed from this world. It's like I had already... I don't remember if you've been here for many of the other many of the other cases in this game so far. Everybody has terrible names, except for her. Her name is just Rafa, for no reason. Her parents didn't have a dictionary handy when they named her, so they just gave her a made-up name, like normal people. We got Pray Zeh'lot. We've got Trust in Me and his wife Believe in Me. We got the tour guide whose name is I'll Be Your Guide. It's really beyond anything I could possibly describe. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased sensations very carefully.